Well, today we give you a little explanation of a couple of programming concepts. First, we'll look at how to make your robot go forward, backwards, and turn side to side. It's real simple. And then I'll show you how to download the code to make your remote control work on your robot as well. That is, if you've got the infrared sensor for the remote control installed. Well, first we're going to go ahead and open a robot template. It's a good way to start every program you do. There will be a new robot template coming in later versions of the software that will allow you to write 8 different programs, but for now we're just doing one program at a time. So we can actually, and coming up here, we'll be able to download 8 different programs and select them with the switch. So we open our robot template, and we get this. There is still a Hello World program here in my robot template. I'm going to delete that Hello World program and leave the forever loop and end loop there. We push Control and Spacebar, and we get all the keywords that come up. We're going to choose forward. And with this program, we're going to go forward for 2 seconds. So again, that's 2,000 milliseconds. And then we're going to go backward. Again, space and control. So control and space at the same time, we get those keywords. And I push enter for the new line, control space bar. And I'm going to wait another 2 seconds going backwards. And then I'm going to spin left. So control and space bar, and we go down and we find spin left. And let's do that for 2 seconds. So we need to wait there. Whoops. We need to wait 2 seconds. And then I'm going to spin right for 2 seconds. And that's all there is to it. We're going to go forward for 2 seconds, then we're going to go backward for 2 seconds, then spin left for 2 seconds, then spin right for 2 seconds. Now, what I want you to do after you do this program is change the order of these and change these amounts of time, and you'll find that you should be able to, for instance, make your robot make a perfect square. If you go forward for 2 seconds, then for instance spin left for maybe half a second, and then go forward for another 2 seconds and spin left for maybe another half a second, and so forth until you make a full square. Now, on Saturday morning, some of your robots were moving at different rates of speed on each wheel. That can be a couple of things. The first thing you want to try, if that's the case, is to loosen the screws on the slower wheel, the screws on the bottom of the motor that are holding the motor together. We've found that sometimes if those screws are too tight, it holds the gears in too tight and slows that motor down. The other possibility of what it is that variable resistor inside your motor is not centered right. So in one direction, it might be going fast, in the other direction it's going slow. So that's what that variable resistor is determining, the middle point. So if you've determined the middle point as being off a little bit, it's going to go faster in one direction than it is in the other direction, and that's going to involve opening up the motor again, remelting that solder on the variable resistor, and while the solder is molten, turn the variable resistor to the middle point. Okay, now let's go ahead and hopefully you write a few of these programs that make your robot move and make it do interesting things. But let's also look at how we make our remote control work. Now, first off, you need to be sure to have the newest version of the software downloaded to your computer. The new version is JAL for Fondy Heat 1.01.2. If you have the old version, 1.01.1, you will not have the keyword remote control or read remote. All right, read remote. And that's really all you need to do is put the read remote software in your forever loop, and it will read the remote every time the loop comes around, which is really often thousands of times per second. So essentially, it's going to be watching the remote control sensor really, really fast. So when you push your 1, wait a minute. If you push your 2 on the remote control, you should go forward. If you push your 8, you should go backwards. 5 will stop it. 4 is left, 6 is right. And also we can control that motor 3. That's that third motor port. So if you've put a blue motor on your robot already, you can push the 1 and the 3, and that will control your motor 3 as well. One more time, I want to emphasize that, for instance, if I have another file open, like this motor test file, even though this motor test file is in front, and it appears to be the program we're working on right now, I can right-click on this, and we can see the set as main JAL file is not grayed out. And that means that over here, the robot template is the main JAL file, and that's the one that we'll download to the robot. Even though I might be working on motor test over here, it's this that will download to the robot, unless we set this one as the main JAL file, which we actually don't want to do. So I'm going to close that up. And so a good rule of thumb is to have only one program open at a time. Then you know that is the program that is downloading to your robot. Good luck with writing code for your robot, and have fun.